one of the things you and I wanted to do is we wanted to start making some hats.
Yes.
Because you love hats.
Yeah.
I love hats. And so we wanted to make an Areté Shades hat.
Yes.
That we could use and that we would use and that we could sell. And so we made one.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, I like designing it, but then when we got it, it wasn't really what we wanted to get.
Yeah, I think it's hard sometimes when you're like at our size, right? Like we don't have necessarily like a hat guy, right? That's doing hats for us. So we looked at what's called like a print on demand company, right? So that was, we ended up using Printful. And there's nothing against Printful. I've used them forever for like hoodies and stuff. Love them. But for the design that we were creating, one is they didn't really have the hat styles that we want, the actual style of the hat. We're actually both wearing that kind of hat right now. So show this one off. We'll talk about this one in a second. But this is one you just got this weekend, right?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you get this one? Tell us about this hat.
I got this at my brother's Perfect Game tournament. It's an ace hat. I was going to get the shirt, but they didn't have the size, so I got the hat.
And the hat, so obviously we got flat brim, we got embroidered print on the front, and then it's like got the hydro breathe, like the holes. I'm gonna get it a little closer in, and maybe you can see that. Maybe you can't, but it's kind of got the breathable holes in the back, and then obviously it's fitted with custom logo on that. And then mine, kind of same thing. So mine's curved. It's a melon hat. Love the dudes at Melon. And so design here, and then it's mine's a snapback, but it's also got the hydro. So these hats can get wet, sweaty, go in water, like all that stuff. So first, hat type. They didn't have the hat type that we wanted, which that's kind of lame. Yeah. So we're looking for like new manufacturers. We're looking at like Branded Bills, and we're looking at a couple other places that might have the actual style of hat. And then second is the hat that we ended up doing. They ended up embroidering, and that's where they take like the stitching and they stitch the hat. You see this at like, if you go to Lids, like at the mall, they have like that big machine with the yarn and stuff, and like they do it that way. That's kind of how they do it. And they digitize your file and get it ready for that. And so you want to show off what we got back. So we just got the samples in. And unfortunately, we're both disappointed. So a couple things on this. One is we have some design changes to make. I think the line here is too tall. I can't point to it. The line is too tall. But then second, because it was embroidered, they basically try to use one piece of yarn and go the whole way across. And all the letters are like stuck to each other. You see that like that? And just, you can't really read it. Like for you guys, like it might not look that bad on camera right now. And like when I sent Jen, his mom, my wife, the picture, she's like, oh, that's cool. But then when you started like looking at it like in detail, the detail isn't there. And that matters, right?
Yes, it does.
So I think the next round that we go with, I grabbed a couple examples, is like this hat from Viore. This is kind of the inspiration of the design, right? Where you have the icon over here and then you have the words. But it's flatter. It's still a little off the hat. And I ended up finding out this is like a 3D print or a puff print. So that's what this is actually called. Like a 3D print or a puff print. It's actually the same thing that's on this orange hat. I want to show that one off real quick. So it's almost like a screen print that's on the hat. And so, but it's actually called like a puff print. Was doing like a ton of like research on this. They're actually called like puff print hats. And so that's what we're going to be looking at, like kind of next round and revision of this. And so it's interesting because like you always see the finished product, but you don't see what goes into the finished product of like, well, first you got to make a dope design.
Yes.
It's got to look cool.
Yes.
But then you got to have like, what material is it going to get printed on? Right. So what kind of hat? And then how are you going to print? So there's a lot of different steps. And then obviously getting samples in, you get the samples. And sometimes like, you're like, whoa, this is it. This is awesome. Like with the glasses. Yeah. We got the samples when you were where?
At the World Series.
And when you opened them, they were what?
Really cool. Awesome.
They were like almost like perfect, like right out of the box. We didn't have very many changes to them. And then something like this, you get it back. The quality's not where we want it to be. The hat style, like if you're going to do something, let's do it right.
Yes.
I want it to look good.
Yes.
What else? What else did we not talk about?
I don't know.
You don't know. He doesn't know. I love it. Well, let us know what you think. If you have any advice for us in getting some cool hats, if you have any hat manufacturers or anything you want to drop it in the comments below. But we can't wait to get these out and done. Hopefully we'll have a new sample like that we're going to get in like the next week moving forward, and we'll have some cool hats for the summer. Yeah. What's your favorite hat that you have right now?
Right now? Well, it's either this or my other Perfect Game hat.
Perfect Game hats. $50 a hat after you paid for your kid to play in the tournament, after you paid the gate fee to get into the tournament, and then you buy the hats and the shirts.
Yeah.
Right? Love it. Thank you guys for watching today, and we'll see you guys in the next one.